Hey guys, this is Karthikeya Kantwal from Apex FinServe and I'm back with your daily dose of charts for tomorrow's trading session along with the index outlook. But as usual, as is the routine before we start for tomorrow's trading session, out of all the trades that we had discussed yesterday, well, today was a kind of slow day for us. We ended up slightly in the red, about 0.5% ish, considering all the charges and everything. So on the equity side, it was pretty slow, but on the indices, it was bang on. As I told you guys, if those zones were being sustained, we would have a good up move, and that is what we had in the second half. So we made really good in the indices. So overall, all things considered, we had a very nice day or a very green trading session, and I hope the same goes for you as well. Now, without wasting much time, let's start with the trades for tomorrow's trading session. With the first one, as usual, SR transfer. Now, SR transfer, if you consider today's movement, it has formed a lower low. Now, we expect it to form a lower high and then come downwards. But if you look at the last candle's momentum, that is something that is pretty strong. But sorry, not but. As a result of which, we cannot really go aggressively short at the swing high. So what we are going to do is we are going to go short slightly above that in case it goes for a higher pullback. So we are going to go for a short position at 715 with the stop loss going at 725, the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one, Apollo Hospital. Well, Apollo Hospital's pretty simple. It broke a support level. We are going to go for a short position at the nearest swing high at 1720 with the stop loss going 1740 and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one, Just Dial. Now, Just Dial, we are going to go for a breakdown trade on this one because, well, if you consider this up move, this was supposed to make a flag pattern, but not something that happened today. So, if this psychological support that I talked about today, if that is not being sustained, then under that we will go for a short position. So, it is a share, it is a short under 400 or a sell under 400. Stop loss at 405. Ideal targets being 1% as usual. This is a sell under 400, so not the bracket order, but a SLM order type that we'll be using at this point. Now for PL, we are going to go for a long position at the nearest demand zone that we have at 1400. Also a round number psychological support, as I always say. So it is making lower low, lower highs, but at this point I do hope that it's not hope actually. If you just compare the distance between this swing low and this swing low, it's not that much. So the supply that was at this swing leg and this swing leg, it's not really that stronger at this point. So it's not really that much bearish at this point. So we are going to go for a long position at 1400. Stop loss at 1378. Ideal targets being 1% as usual. 1378, 1380, and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one, IndusInd Bank, we are going to go for a long position. Simple, it broke the previous swing high, so the resistance should act as support now. So we are going to go for a long position at 514. Stop loss at 508. Ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to the next one, MFSL. Now MFSL, we are going to go for a short position in this one. We are going to go for a short position at the nearest supply zone that we have, demand turn supply, at 554, 555. With the stop loss being at 560 and the ideal targets being 1% on the downside as usual. Moving on to Oro Pharma. Oro Pharma, we are going to go for a long position at the demand zone that is there at 850. So the idea is to go for a simple long position at 850, stop loss at 840 and the ideal targets being 1% as usual. Moving on to Bharat Falls. Well, Bharat Falls, we spent 2 days waiting for that flag formation to complete, but that's not really happening, and that flag has now turned into a pennant. So let's see how this one pans out. But the idea is still to go for a long position with the entry point at 490, stop loss at 485, because if that happens, the pennant is now invalidated on the downside. So the idea is to go for a long at 490, stop loss at 485. Ideal targets 1% on the upside. Moving on to the indices, as usual. Now I told you guys, if the zones that we had at this point they were being sustained, 11300 was being sustained, it might go to 11400, which was the resistance that we had as per the option chain, and that is exactly what happened. So the idea tomorrow is to go for a long position at pullback on Nifty because the momentum that we had was pretty strong and it was sustainable too. It has cleared the zone in one swift attempt. So the idea is to go for a short position at 11,350, 11,360 with the stop loss going under 11,300 because we have the option chain support as well as two demand zones at that point. With the ideal targets, not the ideal targets, but with the first target being somewhere close to 11,440, 11,450, followed by 11,500. That was from the charts. Now coming to the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 11,400 with 533,000 added contracts. Important resistance 11,500 with 155,000 added contracts. On the support side of things, we have 11,300 with 2 million added contracts, which is a lot, and significant support 11,200 with 693,000 added contracts. So let's see how this one pans out. When we look at the option chain, now yesterday I believe it was over 1 if I'm not wrong, and today it is 0.94. So the bearish sentiment on the buyer's side has decreased a bit, but it's still overall bearish. But the writers, well, they were wrong today, they might as well be wrong tomorrow. Let's see, sorry, not the writers, the buyers were wrong today, they might as well be wrong tomorrow. Let's see how that goes out for tomorrow's trading session. As I said, long at pullback, that is the idea as of now. Moving on to the next one, Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty again, it closed at a zone if you remember, and that was being sustained, and it had a swift up move from that point onwards, 21,800. Now for tomorrow, the idea is that we need to observe this zone at 22,100. If that is being sustained, it has a 200 point up move to 22,300. If that is not being sustained, it has a 200 point down move to 21,900. Now let's see how that goes out. For the option chain side of things, we have immediate resistance at 22,200 with 18,000 added contracts. Significant at 22,500 with 125,000 added contracts. On the support side of things, we have 22,000 with 336,000 added contracts, and significant support at 21,800 with 245,000 added contracts. So let's see how that one pans out. Even for Bank Nifty, if someone was to put a gun to my head and ask me what to do tomorrow, I'd say go long on pullbacks. That is the idea as of now. But as always, for both the indices, if you want to trade the indices, wait for the first 30 to 45 minutes until you have a bias, and then execute your trades according to that bias. Now these are all the charts that I had to discuss with you guys for tonight. I hope you guys had a good green trading session tomorrow, and I hope you have an even better one tomorrow. Now if you want all of these charts, all this content, the option chain analysis and the watch list, you can always check out the Telegram channel at the Apex FinServe, or the Instagram or the Twitter handle too. And as usual, if you like the watch list or if you like the index analysis that we have been performing together, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment, and hit that bell notification icon too. Thank you so much for watching guys. Have a good night. Bye.